Good morning, everyone. This is Brian Weber from technicalanalysisresource.com. Now, yesterday I gave a significant area to go along around this region right here, and then I said about the barrier region up here, a cluster of resistance points here. So yesterday we got the breakout as expected from our significant area, and prices were capped at the cluster zone that I pointed out. So that cluster zone up there pretty much done its job and held price and rejected it here. But that cluster zone is still in play today, as none of these other levels were actually tested higher. So this is still going to cause a bit of a problem for price today because we had the breakout, the test, and the rejection, and prices have just pretty much been consolidating from the New York close yesterday around this region here, all the way through the Asian session today. Okay, we're currently holding above that central pivot for the time being with the 200 period moving average here, just starting to catch up with price. As another form of support here. So overall, this market is still looking bullish as we were putting in a series of higher highs and higher lows, and now we're just consolidating those gains. So pretty much when price does something like this, breaks out of the significant area and tests the next strong resistance or support area on a large move, that sometimes we do consolidate gains before the next leg up, and so on. Price never moves in a straight line, as they say. So while we do hold above that central pivot and while we're above that 200, really, even though we're in a consolidation mode here, we're still bullish in the market. The only thing that would turn our bias down to the bearish side would really be a break of this 131.45 level. Okay, 131.45. We also have a little support zone here. It goes as high as that 131.60. So I just draw this in. Okay, so that's our significant area for our support today. And really, if this level is taken out, this lower level, 131.45, that's really the only thing that's going to turn this bearish in the market. Okay, any dips down in this region, I would look for buying opportunities. Okay, so if you dip down in this region, look for buying opportunities to get long for the next leg up. But if this level gives way, then we're going to look for sell opportunities. Okay, so this is really just one significant area today, but it's also going to be a buy and a sell. Okay, so a break of that 131.45, preferably holding that at resistance or retesting that zone of resistance, and then looking to get short in the market. If it comes down and holds this zone here, then look for the buying opportunities to get long in the market that will cause the next leg up, back up towards those resistant clusters up above, and we'll probably see higher prices. Okay, so 131.45 up to 131.60 is both our buy and sell zone. But we also have another buy zone up here at the cluster zones. Okay, so the other scenario for buying today would actually be if we just see a move right off the bat and we don't see any dips in the market down to that zone. So we might just see a move up. Let me just draw this in a little bit better here. Okay, so there's our significant area. So we might just actually see some more consolidation, little move down, testing these lows, maybe a slightly lower low, or we might just see a move straight up at the London Open towards this cluster zone up here. What we've been looking for is this lower support here, lower resistance here at 132.13 to be tested once or twice, really, but more so we're just looking for it to hold as a support. So X resistance holds as support. In that case, we'd actually be breaking above yesterday's high right here. Okay, so a move above there or anywhere in the zone, and then coming back to retest one of these zones as support, and then again we look for a buy opportunity for the next leg up. So basically we'd be putting in a higher high, then we'd be getting the pullback, and that's where we'd be looking to get long. Okay, so a trend could establish here after the consolidation. Price moves up, puts in a higher high, comes back, puts in a higher low, and then from there, based on one of these old resistance points, using as support, we would look to get long in the market. And those cluster zones come from 132.13 up to 132.29, then 132.40, then 132.51. If you do get that scenario playing out and we do get long in the market, then we'll target that 132.78 and then the R3 level on the daily pivots today, which is around that 133.08. Okay, so the 132.78 up towards the 133.08 would be the targets for today, if that's the kind of scenario that we see playing out. Okay, so a break above, higher high, anywhere within the zone, and any pullback to one of these zones to hold as support, we've been then looking to get long in the market for the next leg up. Okay, the other scenario would be if we actually see a dip in the market based on this trend, so a dip down, wrong pan. So we see a dip down here to one of these support points or within the support point, and then look to get long if we get the appropriate buy signal up to the cluster zone. Okay. And remember, guys, that if we're going to sell the market, if we are going to turn bearish in the market today, this support point has to give way. This 131.45, and preferably retesting as resistance. It's not a must, but it'd be nice to see that hold as resistance and then get short in the market. Okay, so that's our buy and sell opportunities for today. Have a good one.